Hi guys, so today we're going to make steamed bread and chicken stew. So now we want to make our yeast dough for the steamed bread. So I'm just going to add 2 cups of warm water in my jar. Then I will add my yeast. I'm using this instant yeast. So I'm just going to pour my yeast. So after adding my yeast, I'll now add sugar. I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. So yeast loves sugar. So once we mix our yeast and sugar, we're going to let it rest for 5 minutes until it starts blooming. So I'm now covering my yeast and then I'll set it aside for 5 minutes. So this is how the yeast mixture looks like. It must form the froth on top, then that shows our yeast is active. So now I'm adding my flour. I'm using this cake flour, mega cake flour. So you can use cake flour or plain flour or all-purpose flour. I'm going to add 4 cups of plain flour in my leveled teaspoon of salt. Then we mix. So now our yeast is now active. I'm now pouring it in the flour mixture. Then I mix. I'm going to mix with the spoon first, then I'll start using my hands to knead the dough. After the dough sticks together, I'll now transfer it on my silicone mat, then I'll start kneading. If you don't have a silicone mat, sprinkle flour on your surface, then you knead so that it doesn't stick onto the surface. So I'm going to knead my dough for 15 minutes, for 10 to 15 minutes, until it is soft and it's no longer sticky. After 15 minutes, I'm now covering my dough with a plastic bag for it to grease proof. I'm just using this plastic bag. I will just tuck it like this, the dough, when it rises. So I'm just going to let it rest for 45 minutes to 1 hour at room temperature. Now let's prepare our chicken. So I'm just going to wash the chicken and put it on a cutting board. So we're going to cut our chicken into smaller pieces. I have a lot of chicken steak here, so I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces, and they also cook faster. Now let's cook our chicken. I'm going to add a little bit of cooking oil. chicken. Then I'll add in salt. After salt, I'm going to add in 6 gun, just a teaspoon. Then I'll add in a teaspoon of curry powder. Now I'm mixing everything together. So I'm just going to cover it for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, this is how our chicken looks like. Now let's prepare our onions and the tomatoes as we're waiting for the chicken. We want all the water to dissolve in our chicken, so I'm just going to dice our onions and set them aside. So we'll close our pot for 2 to 3 minutes, then we come back, we stir our chicken, we close it, we cover it for 2 to 3 minutes until all the juice in our chicken dissolves and it is fully cooked. Don't add any water. Don't add any water. You just wash your chicken, cut into pieces, add into your pot and a little bit of cooking oil. It cooks by itself. It releases the water from it and then that water will cook our chicken. So now we're going to cover it again. Now the water is completely dissolved. Make sure your stove is on medium to low heat when you are cooking your meat so that it doesn't burn or stick to the pot. saute to fully cook our onions. We're going to cook our onions for 5 minutes until they are soft. Now let's add in our tomatoes. I'm just going to pour them. Then we mix. Make sure all your tomatoes are at the bottom. So we're going to cover our pot for 5 more minutes for our tomatoes to fully cook. So now let's check on our chicken. Our tomatoes are cooking and they are fully cooked. Can you see the color of our chicken stew? It's so appetizing. So now we want to thicken our chicken stew. So I'm going to add this gravy in a cup, about a teaspoon of this gravy. Then I'll add in cold water. I'm going to mix it so that it doesn't have lumps. Then I'll pour it in my chicken. This is to thicken my chicken stew soup. It's going to be very thick. Then I'll cover the pot and let it simmer for 5 more minutes. Then our chicken stew is done. So after 5 minutes, our chicken stock is like this. Our chicken stew is done and our soup is now very thick. So it's done. So now our yeast dough is doubled in size. So I'm just going to open it. So I'm just going to knead it a little bit like this. Then I'll take my coffee mats. I'm going to divide my doughs in these coffee mats. Then I'm going to use this to grease inside. stove. So now I'm placing my coffee mugs in a pot with boiling water like this. To cover the pot like this and cook these until they are done for about 20 minutes. So now let's check our steamed bread. If my skewer comes out clean, then it means my bread is fully cooked. Like this. So my bread is now fully cooked. I'm now switching it off and remove the cups for it to cool down. Then I take my bread and place it like this. Then I'll put my chicken stew. And for the garnish, I'm using the shallots. So we are done, and this is how it looks like.